each day, huh?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming out to Dames Live and kicking it with me. Welcome back to another show, another season. We're kicking things off in style for season 6. Can you believe it, man? It's been 6 seasons of incredible guests, unforgettable moments, and of course, me trying to look like I know what I'm doing up here. I see some past guests in the building. Hey, what's going on, Dollar Beezy? Much love. And I also see Biggie Paul's in the building. Hey. Also, Jen Smash, thank you for coming out. Fade Game, thank you for coming out. And Cool Wise, thank you for coming out. And I can't see that's Sade. Hey, Sade, how are you? Thank you so much for coming out. Well, speaking of looking like I know what I'm doing, here's a quick one. Why did the mathematician break up with the calculator?
Why? Didn't add up?
Because because she said he was too calculating. Well, the good point of that is that we've got a mathematician in the house today, and we've been having an amazing season so far, and we've got so much more in store for you. Incredible guests, fascinating stories, and also insights into worlds you've never seen and heard before. Today, we're diving into an innovative mind of someone who's been blending numbers, art, and technology in a way that defies the imagination. Our guest is not a creator, but is not just any creator, but he's Island Ascetic. Give it up for Island Ascetic, guys. Let me get some applause. He's a VR performer. Also, he is a VR creator, and his breaking creations are reshaping what we do here in VR. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to some and present to others Island Ascetic. Everybody, give it up for Island Ascetic. Hey, my man's already out here.
Working on a weekend like usual. Way off in the deep end like usual.
Man, thank you so much for coming out.
You.
Man. So everybody that comes into the virtual world has an interesting story. They have a story of how they made it into the metaverse. Now, my story is softball. An interesting way to make it into the metaverse is I my looking for a game for softball for my daughter. But what is your story? How did you make it into the metaverse, my man?
So before the metaverse, I was already doing a bit of 3D modeling. So I started out just with 3D printing and then started making my own models for cosplay and then selling them like right before like COVID happened. And then when COVID hit, it was kind of a lot harder to find like the filament for 3D printers. And so I started doing more 3D art. And I want to say in 2021, my mom got me a headset. And I was more so interested in using Gravity Sketch because I was like making things and just printing from there. But October 22, so almost 2 years ago, I came across Horizon and yeah, I saw lots of 3D modeling. I saw lots of programming. I saw lots of black people, and I'm like, okay, I love this place.
Now, when you got your headset, did you get it for free? Was it a Christmas present? I've
It
heard
was a
some people
birthday. It
win
was a
them in
birthday
a
present.
birthday present. Okay, all right. So they know that you are a gamer. And
Mhm.
what got you into creating immersive experiences in the metaverse? Like, what made you create the first world you created?
Hmm. So I did not know what I wanted to make for my first world at first. And I just started building something and I just understood that like things that I like are like sacred geometry, math, geometry, and just in general, programming and um putting things together like that just to make like artistic pieces. Um that was pretty much the inspiration behind my first world. Um but the I think the immersive experience part, I think that came after I was done with the first world. I had the trail effects going up the pillars, and I thought to myself,
Yes.
like, okay, so I have the potential to do like send an event, right? From one
Hmm.
place to another that can contain any piece of information that I want. The potential behind that. I could, you know, stop them from doing that and go somewhere else. And that rabbit hole into, okay, I can add music, I can change the lights, and wait a second, this is a show. And that's how that happened.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that is actually pretty amazing. Like I remember the first time that I actually met you.
Hmm.
Um, it was actually pretty zen going into your world. First of all, it seems like you're first in the big cathedral, maybe going through a hall that has secret scrolls in it. And then once you set on the performance and you had the Star of David up there, and then your explanation behind that was very interesting. Um, and in addition to that, you have the events going around the polls, like, and then you have the books with the daily affirmations. Like, it's a world that somebody can go into. They can relax. There's a pool in there. You can read his books, and you can do all kinds of things. But definitely go visit all of Island Ascetics places. Now, could you tell us more about your story behind your VR musical performances? When did that start? How did it start? What was the think engine behind that? And why do you do it?
um, so I think for me, my first world was Ascetic Dominion, and that had some lights, it had some action,
Yes,
had
the
some
Dominion.
music. I said, okay, that's good. I'll leave that alone. And it was my second world I was working on where, um, I wanted that to be a library initially, and I had the hopes I could maybe type everything. But
Couldn't
yeah.
have done that.
And so it was doing that, and then there was like this clock that I had in that library space, and I had the same thought that I had with like the spirals. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so I can send an event to this clock because it's already receiving events. That event could tell that clock to do something else, like anything that I want, really, right?
Yes, yes.
So I thought about, okay, it would be so cool to make it into a staircase
Mhm.
and then maybe a chair. And so I thought about how to do like a few of those things. And then I added some Horizon music to it. And I showed like two of my friends. And like one of them, he said, oh, it's a clock. And my other friend, she said, well, it's a pretty cool clock. And he said, well, it's pretty easy to script, and you could just, and so I stepped on the platform and then like the music changed and then it started moving. He was like, what? Yeah, they were both shocked. And like really, really happy for some reason. So I was just observing, okay, they're reacting in a positive way. They're not like screaming in terror. They like it. They thought it was special. I showed a few more people. And then I was like, okay, this is something I could do, but I probably won't do. Probably won't. Um, because the idea of doing this a second time means I'm going to be a performer in front of people. And that was something at the time I was like, I don't think that's what I want at all. Nope. Mm-mm. I'd rather them just come to my world and just be left alone because I see how people are.
I mean, you're a
But that,
mathematician by trade, so I would think, how did the musical performances come in line? Mhm.
oh, well, like most of my life, I've been a performer in different aspects. So I've like done lots of like growing up until like maybe like high school. I've been like singing in public in church, playing instruments. High school, I was drill team commander, so I was like,
Oh wow!
you know, yeah. So I was given all the commands for the
So
information
you're
and
Nick
telling them what
Cannon.
to do.
You're
Something like that, something like that. But no, I've always been into music and the idea of performing. But putting that, of course, with technology is just something like different. So it was new. I decided to do it, and I'm like, I'll do it, and regardless of what energy or I'll just whatever opportunity this gives me, I'll just grow along with it. Is kind of what I went with.
That's amazing. And I gained some inspiration from your world. Sorry for the little stutter there, but when I go into your world, it's really inspiring. Each time that I've heard the song, went to a performance and seen you actually perform, It's almost like the lights and everything are talking to me. It's like you'll put your hand out like this, and it'll be like, okay, there's a direct connection to me. And there's almost a direct connection to everybody that's in that circle there. What inspires this? What inspires you? Who inspires you? Where do you get this divine inspiration from to kind of really touch people?
Well, I go with God, that's my faith. Um, I believe that God is inside of everyone and everything, whether they see it or not. I believe that because of that, we have to respect people, regardless of how we feel about them. Um, or at least respect their life. I don't know if you have to necessarily respect their opinion sometimes, but at least, people deserve a certain level of respect regardless.
Regardless.
Um, but I believe that we all have the power to make some positive change in the world. I don't think that we should be perfect, but we should make whatever positive change that we should feel as though we're capable of, even though it may not be something that we necessarily want to do. I think if we have the power to make a change, we should do it.
Mhm.
So I think that's a lot of my inspiration,
Wow.
to the point of like, yeah, I don't really want to perform in front of, people in at this point in my life, but if it makes people happy, in a way that catches them off guard sometimes, then why not? So it's biggest inspiration there.
I think you are. I think the last time, and shout out to you, the last time that we actually sat and had an opportunity to talk was just a couple of days ago.
Hmm.
And while we're in there, I think other avatars that come into your worlds, that is a reflection of you. If you look out in this audience, just know that Dame's Live is not packed like this every week. But it is today because you have touched so many people and they are reflections of the work that you have done. So kudos to you and kudos to the reflections that keep showing up for you, my guy. Now I've got to ask you, what are some fun stories that you've had? I know you got some stories with Dollar Beezy. What can you share some fun stories or some experiences that you've had here in VR that's been like kind of like, okay, that really did happen.
Oh, okay. Fun experiences. I mean, I can start with Dollar Beezy because we have so many conversations. But I think I was doing an upgrade to my very first world, and I got the lights, had them like not going up the pillars. I had them moving around in the big cathedral area, whatever.
Mhm.
And he said, "Man, this is cool, but this would look a lot better in the world by itself." And I said, that sounds good, but no, I'm gonna keep it here. And then I think I showed Wayne's World. In Wayne's World, he was looking at the lights and he said, "Man, if you put this in a dark room by itself, I'd be in there all day." And I said, I've heard that before, and I don't think I want to hear it again. So I'm gonna ask somebody else. And then I went to Andrew Money, and he said the same exact thing that Wayne said. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take these lights. I'm gonna put them in a dark place. Gonna give you guys some stuff like to step on, and that became Ascetic Ascension.
Wow.
Um, that world is now my most popular world, but it's the world I think that I wanted to make the least.
Yeah.
Um, and probably the world that took me the longest to like actually have like love for.
Yeah. 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 And it's got some new
It took me
stuff in
some
there.
time.
I
But
mean,
no,
that
that
kind
that
of
happened.
bounces off my next question, and it's so important that we collaborate. I mean, you wouldn't even know to that you would have a hit on your hands by not listening to other creators who have been there, who have done that, and mean nothing but the best for you and to
Yeah.
you. So, what is the value in actually collaborating with other creators? Can you tell me some?
Um, I would say, I mean, maybe even going back to the idea of the inspiration part, like I believe that all of us have like a piece of God inside of us. We have some piece some gift that we can contribute. And regardless of how good we are with that gift, there is somebody who knows something else that we do not know and that we can more than likely learn from. So I never try to think that there's nothing I can't learn from someone above or below or beside. Just, I try to keep a very open mind that collaborating with someone and just learning their perspective, you can grow a whole lot from that. And that's whether you like the person or not. Sometimes you might not like the way that someone is as a person, but they're not completely flawed in regards to sometimes really bad people can make really good things. So, it all depends.
I agree. I agree. Now, what advice would you give somebody who's just getting in VR? They're new to the space. Now, talk to my camera here because there's going to be a lot of people who may watch.
Okay.
But what what would you say to somebody who gets in here and is like, okay, what is this? What advice would you give them? How would you just anything you would like to say? Hopefully, I made that a good questioner.
Yeah. Man, it's a good question. I mean, I feel as though it's like I have to answer like two pieces because it's like
Yeah.
one is just the experience here, and then the other is looking at the power to create. So, in regards to experiences, it's, surround yourself with people, and it might be kind of hard to find at first, but surround yourself with people who you feel are going in the same direction as you, in real life, I think. And in regards to creating, um, you're only really limited to your imagination, really, in regards to what you want to make. And just because you haven't seen it in here just yet doesn't mean that you can't bring it here.
Mhm. That's amazing. That's a great. I really like that advice. It's pretty solid advice. And thank you so much for coming on the show, Island. When you accepted the invite, I was like, yes. But what's next for you? I mean, I had an opportunity to see some of the stuff that's next for you, but I don't think people really understand what's really next for you. But what's next for you? What are you working on? If you
So
want to advise.
yeah, yeah. So I have two more performance worlds that I'm working on in the background. And I would like to make those two my last two performance worlds for some time and focus a lot more of my attention next year on making more game experiences and more fun experiences because that, like I said earlier, the idea of performing wasn't like my initial thought. So I want to take everything that I have learned from doing what I've done, like each type of component that I might have, like in my shows and whatever, just applying those to game experiences and really having a lot more fun with that. So that's going to be the next step. But yeah, the next two worlds, I think I was considering just making one of them a ticketed event, but I might make it like a double kind of world experience. But I am planning on making it a ticketed event just to make sure, it's a really consistent experience for everyone in regards to, I don't think trolls typically pay for tickets. So it helps.
Mm, no, they definitely don't. And I will be there to support, my friend. I really
Thank you.
like what you're doing. Continue to do what you're doing. The scripting that you're doing is awesome. There's something that we talked about backstage. I just want to bring it to stage. What I believe you are is you see a problem. You got certain people in the world. You got some people who are problem solvers, and you got some people who are great at creating the problem.
Okay.
And I see that you are a problem solver. And I
Yes.
really, really love the fact that you saw a problem with the fashion. Well, if there really wasn't a problem, but you're able to come up with a solution with scripting,
Yeah.
so they can call their next person. And
Hmm.
that's pretty interesting, when things can go to mess and haywire, you
Yeah.
came out with a solution. So shout out to Island Ascetic. Everybody give it up for Island. Yeah, I like to open up this part of the show for anybody who would like to ask a question. We have one of the scripters here who scripted a lot of interesting things. This is a good time to ask him, wait, how did you do that? Or if he's done something for you, this is an opportunity for you to come on up here to the mic and just show our creator some love.
Oh, y'all go. All right, go ahead. Y'all got it.
Hey, what's up, Wayne's World? You're on mute there, Wayne. You may still be in the camera trigger. You have to jump and move left.
Y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you,
Yes.
Wayne.
Okay. Um, Alan has just been an amazing friend, an amazing mentor, a little, I guess, insider, a pillar in my life. And just an overall great person. I'm glad I got to meet him, and I'm excited to see what's next.
Thank you, Waynes.
Well, I'm never going to turn down an opportunity to shed a little love and flowers on my guy here.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
this guy's probably worth the price you pay for your headset just to say you met him. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, he's very helpful, and I like that you pointed out that he solves a lot of problems,
Problem
but he
solver.
also inspires so many. I can just speak personally here, right? Every problem I seem to have, the answer was I should have listened to what Alan already told me. Right? Sometimes the answer is within, sometimes the answer is in a little bit of research, and sometimes the answer is just keep at it. You just keep at it, it seems to find you. So, Alan has this thing where he says he likes to be, the light, or he speaks light, not dark. And I mean, that's a good example we all can try to learn from, regardless of your perspective on that. And Alan has a very unique perspective on a lot of things. So, like, you can't really understand how great this guy is in a couple of minutes in the show. And all flowers that he gets, trust me, are well deserved. It's not an act, it's not a temporary thing. It's really who the guy is consistently. And I can
Yes.
appreciate that on so many levels. So, much love and continue to be you, man.
I'm probably going to add listener to that list because you're a great listener. I did do a lot of talking. Golden Gray is in the building.
What up, Dame?
How you
Damester?
doing, man?
I can say he never helps me with nothing. I can say that. I can say a lot of bad things about Islands, but we'll focus on the good things. Yeah, man, but we all have a strong personal relationship and a strong personal friendship. You know what I'm saying? Me and Island, he didn't gave me great advice, showed me things that, I'd never want to learn, still don't care to learn, so he never wants to just do it. I mean, like, damn, just do it, Alan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that just let you know how much of a personal relationship we have. Like, we talk damn near every day. Me, Alan, and Dollar, and Sade and Wayne. You know what I'm saying? We got a group chat. Like, this the team. You feel what I'm
Stay
saying?
connected.
Like this the team. But it's always like, hey, Alan, I need you to come over here and script this, you know what I'm saying, or whatever situation is. He's like, okay, Golden, we'll pull out your menu. I said, what the fuck? What? Get into build mode. Pull out your script box. What the fuck am I pulling out a script box?
What's a script box?
Excuse my language. I said, man, I'm not trying to pull out no script. So one thing about Alan, you know what I'm saying, he don't want you to, he's not going to just do anything for you. He's going to try to teach you to do, things. And that's what's a great, thing that he has, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to, tell him thank you for, all the advice, all the long talks, and everything that he has instilled in me. You know what I'm saying? He's a phenomenal person. But just a little advice for anybody in here: don't ask him to do nothing, because he ain't gonna do it. Okay, I'm out.
Oh man. So yeah, we're gonna add teacher to your list of things. Put this all on your resume.
Mhm.
Jen Smash, welcome to
Hey,
the
how are
building.
you? Happy Friday.
Doing well.
Happy Friday.
Island. My story with Island is I remember I think I saw you at Burden's Loft,
Hmm.
I think. And he was very patient. I didn't know the dude, so I didn't know who he was, but he wanted me to come to his world and I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. But he stayed, and I was like, okay, this man, I believe in life. People put, God puts people in your life for a reason. I learned that when I had my own business for 20 years, people came to the conference room sometimes to just drop a message. So, his aura was continuing to shine, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready because I was ready to go to Haunted High. And so he took me there, and I think this is the first experience I've ever like shed a tear. I was bawling watching this beauty, and I thank you for sharing that with me. I'm not a builder or a scripter, so if I call you, I'm just gonna pay you for it. So I'm just letting you know right now. Um, Continue blessing us with, man. You're a very special person in here. Your light is extremely bright, and we're just grateful to have you here in the metaverse. I'm grateful to meet you, and hopefully meet you one day in person. So, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Big fan.
Hey, one more thing, Dame.
Yeah, yeah.
Alan was actually the inspiration for Meta Comeback. Because I went to one of his worlds and he was just making shit move with his making stuff move with his hands. I'm sorry. Leave that out. He was just making things, he was making things move with his hands. And I say, man, can you make a rope come out your hand and grab somebody? Man, so you can just move with your hand. I was like, man, I didn't know, that you could just do so much with scripting, like anything that you're art, and then and just short story. And then I was like, man, what am I gonna call this thing, man? I can't call it Mortal Kombat. He said, Golden, you know what? I think you need to call it Meta Comeback. I said, Meta mother comeback. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Well, I was so happy I started jumping around. I was like, Meta mother comeback. That's it. That's it. It's over with. But you know what I'm saying? But when I see him moving things with his hands to the left and the right, I say, oh man, the possibilities are endless. So I want to thank him for that inspiration also.
Thank you.
Now, how did he sound again, Golden Rays? Tell me one more time. How did he sound?
Huh?
How did he sound? How did he sound?
Oh, he said, Golden, well, maybe you should call it Meta Comeback. And I said,
Thank you. Such a nice guy.
Ah.
Hey, man.
Go ahead now, Island. Say, I don't have to deal with this slander.
Oh, I'm taking it.
go ahead, Dolly.
Well, the mic is still
forgot
open
what I
if
was
you
gonna
do
say. I
have
started laughing
anything
about
to
Meta
say
Comeback.
or add to the conversation. We are definitely here. That was a good
It was
one.
something I wanted to say. I can't remember what it was.
Do you have
Oh,
anything to
that's
say,
what I wanted to
Shane?
say.
Yeah.
Look, we should all be thankful that people
Yes.
like Alan exist because
Yes.
Alan
Yes.
empowers us all. He
Yes.
doesn't
Yes.
hold, he doesn't gatekeep. You know,
Yes.
there's this very small amount of scripting that most of us probably wouldn't understand anyway that he does keep to himself. And I hope that he continues to do so he'll try to teach it to me. But there was a point, those of us who've been on the platform, where a lot of people were gatekeeping information and, they kind of stunted us from growing in our individual journeys. And we got people like Alan that not only empower us to learn, but are there to walk through the mud with you. Now he might not stay the whole time, but he'll check back. Like we gotta appreciate these people, man. Like and Dame, congratulations on the continued success and the more seasons you do, the more proud I am of you. And it seems like it just keep getting better and better. I like how you always a stern hand on your craft. You're not okay with yesterday's good. You want today's good, and I always
Better.
appreciate that and admire that about you. So
Thank you.
you know,
Thank you.
continue on. I'm done.
Man, Dollar Beezy's a day one. Let me go ahead and say that right now. That guy's been real since day one. And you found the real one now. All right, yeah, we definitely still have a little bit more time if you'd like to give our guests some love. If not, there's only one way you can get out of here. Two ways you can get out of here. One way for sure, and that's through the hot seat, my friend. The hot seat.
He is the fire.
Now, this is where we get to know a little bit about our guests. We get to know them a little better, a little faster, and maybe a little weirder. This is even a part of the show where anything goes, and we get to dive in just the fun side and see the fun side of your mind. Now, here's the deal. There are no right or wrong answers, all right? No calculations needed, all right?
Okay.
And definitely no pressure.
Okay.
No pressure.
Okay.
It's all about quick thinking, gut reactions, and maybe a laugh or two. So let's just have some fun with it. So first and foremost, I got to know, what are your top 5 video games?
Top 5 video games: Final
Top 5
Fantasy, Final Fantasy 7,
Okay.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay, let's stop right there. Final Fantasy C7. I've never played that. What is Final Fantasy 7?
Final Fantasy 7 is a role-playing game where you're playing as main character Cloud Strife. It's to save the world from a meteor strike, and it's considered one of the best games of all time for like most
Really?
lists. Yeah, made in 1997, and it's probably in the top like top 3 typically on most game lists, like of all time.
All right, you going from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5? that
1
your
to
number
5,
five?
best
Okay.
best to worst. So I would say initially it would be Final Fantasy 7, and then Final Fantasy Tactics. For me, I like that one more because it's a lot more numbers based. Metal Gear Solid, PS1.
Okay. Like,
Let's see, I need 2 more. I would say Legend of Dragoon.
Never played that.
Oh yeah,
What is Legend of Lagoon?
Legend of Dragoon. It was a Final Fantasy knockoff actually.
Okay.
But if you can imagine, it's almost like Power Rangers, but like in the Mystic Age type of. So they had like more like dragon armor. So they're like fight monsters, power up to like their dragon form, and summon dragons. But turn-based RPG.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Let's hear
And,
some more. You got 2 more.
I think was it 1 or 2 more?
One. Well, so we got Final Fantasy. We got the Legend of Lagoon. Then we got the Final Fantasy knockoff, I believe.
Tactics.
And attack.
Yep.
And then Metal
then-
Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid. So one more.
Sim City.
Okay, all right. I can dig Sim City.
I never got into The Sims. I did a lot more Sim City.
Okay, all right. Okay, I got it backwards. Sims and Sim City is 2 different things.
Yes.
Sim City
So-
is more like the roller coaster one where you build the city.
Yeah. It's more. You're just building the city, saying what zones are commercial, industrial, residential, making hospitals, and getting your population up, and trying to make sure your taxes don't get too high.
Okay. Well, let me tell you some of mine. Let me see if they made your list. So Sims, you like
Okay.
Sims? Is that a top one? Okay, I like that one.
Okay.
How about GTA? Any of them, like GTA 1 through 6.
No
1 through
GTAs.
5.
No GTAs.
Really?
No GTAs.
You don't like any GTAs?
It's not that I don't like them. It's just that I could never get into the story. I would just like go and just steal the cars and just get the helicopter chasing after me, and that's all I would ever do. I never beat any of them.
Now I do like RTS games. No, you're good. You're good. I mean, sometimes I like RTS games. How about Command and Conquer?
No,
Really, you never heard of that one? Okay.
I have not.
All right.
what do you play
Any
on?
real-time strategy games. So I definitely like
Dragon.
those.
I think Dragon Age is one of them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age. I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, that one's very popular. I think they have like 3 of them now. I want to say. So I want to say maybe from mid 2010s until like maybe a few years ago.
Yeah, that's another RTS game. I just haven't played it. Now let's get into some questions. If you could live in any VR world, or your VR world, what VR world would it be?
Fairies in the trees.
Fairies in the trees. Why fairies in the trees? Is that one of your worlds or?
No, that one is by Space Unicorn Glitter, and I would say because I've went in there and I've seen a person sleeping in there and snoring very loudly. And I'm like, this is a place of peace. Like I can sit by and sleep out here. But they're like, it's a really calm and peaceful place, and it's also really beautiful too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's kind of like if you're in the Matrix, you kind of live there. You know, that would be your main place to play.
Yeah, and she has like little fairy houses, and you can little fairy hats, and you got wings, and you can jump around in the trees. Really fun place.
Interesting. Now, you are a mathematician.
Okay.
And I've got to ask, if you were a math equation, what would you be? Which math equation would you be? And why?
If I were a math equation, which one would I be? I would be just one equation.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Finally got him. Yes.
Just one.
Got him. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I'll pick one. Y is equal to sine of x.
Okay. Why?
Because sine of x has a particular frequency, and it's periodic. So, I believe that like in life happens in cycles, and so that's kind of how I like to like live my life. So you have the down, you have the up, you have the down, you have the up, and the downs and the ups are expected things. It's not like bad things aren't supposed to happen, you know. So you learn to look objectively at those being parts of the cycle of life. So yeah, sine of x.
Interesting and very deep, and I think it went over my head. No, I'm just kidding. That was good. Now, what's the weirdest math fact or theorem that blows your mind?
What's up?
What is the weirdest math fact or theorem that blows your mind?
I think it's more of like a physics one, but still it's math related. But like, if you were on a beam of light and you're riding a beam of light, and you're also riding one, like I'm riding one, you're riding one, we're going like this. If you look over to me, I would still be going the speed of light relative to you. Wouldn't be going the same speed.
Really? And what theorem is that? The theorem of
I don't think I know the theorem of it, but I think that goes more with the theorem of relativity.
Interesting. Now, did you watch like the Terrence Howard interview? Did you
I've seen
understand
some
any of that?
parts. No, not I like yes, but not all of it. You know.
Yeah, he definitely lost me along the way there. He definitely lost me along the way. Now, a couple more questions. Would you definitely put pineapple on pizza or would you not? Is that your thing?
Only with bacon and ham. Otherwise, no.
Okay, all right. And would you consider a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Why not? And you've got a hot dog there. It's between a bun and on bread.
I would just say sandwich bread. Or it has to be sandwich bread to be a sandwich for me.
Definitely love to make sure that. Well, Island, I'll give you an opportunity to wipe off your Oculus and everything. You have made it right through the hot seat, my friend.
Okay.
We're gonna have to come up with some hotter questions for you next time.
No, I was sweating. I was sweating just now. I was.
Yeah. I mean, once you got to the theory of X, I was like, okay, yeah, definitely, definitely over my head. But there's one thing that we all can relate on, and that's a fun game of Dave's Games, my friend.
Okay.
Now, this is just a quick, fun game, and the people in the audience will help you get through this. Hopefully, we still have a couple of people here. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the first word. I might help you with all of them. All right, first one.
Tony Stark.
Iron Man.
Should go quick.
Amen.
Chris Tucker
Yeah, that's all right, man.
The Fifth Element.
with the
Jackie Chan.
Asian descent gentleman.
What's that? Rush Hour.
Yes.
Jim Carrey, Green.
The Mask.
Yes.
Are you
can
not
get this one.
entertained?
Are you not
Not
entertained?
Russell Crowe.
No, yeah.
The American
Eagle.
No. Romans.
Oversized-
Gangster?
Romans.
Oversized
American
Romans.
Gangster?
oversized keeps it.
Roman times.
Roman Times.
Green.
Goodness gracious.
Gladiator.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, Dave, I didn't mean to say
You good? You good?
Will
We
Smith.
are the
Black suits.
Men in Black.
Yes.
Thanks, Jen Smash, for the great clues there. Black suits.
McFly.
DeLorean car going fast. Fox. The actor's name is Fox.
Michael J.
McFly.
Michael J. Fox. Yeah. Not in the past, but in the
Future.
so
Future
not
Fox.
the front, but the first
Rear.
word is
Time.
Baby got
Travel.
Future Back. Back to the Future.
Yes. Yes. Bring the future back, please.
you trying to bring
he said baby got
Mr. Rogers lived where?
Yeah,
neighborhood.
that was
Yes.
Neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Dollar BZ. Okay.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I don't know if I know that one.
Bruce
Oh my
Willis.
goodness.
No. Oh.
You
yeah.
know this one.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it. We're not gonna let him leave it. Let's
Car
get it.
battery.
Hopefully, you guys can hear that.
Brand.
Yes. If you're alive, if you're not alive, okay. Another word for the other side.
Christmas
the action
movie.
hero in a movie.
In order to get to heaven, you must.
Die Hard.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
Stifler's mom.
American Pie.
Yeah. How old were you when this movie came out?
2.
You weren't old enough to go see this movie in the theater, were you?
No.
Going up right now?
When the American Pie came out.
Oh no, I was not. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Three girls talking to a man in a box.
Yeah, they're police
they'll-
officers. Like, no, they carry guns.
Charlie's
Farrah
Angels?
Fawcett, yeah.
Yes. I'm waiting for the Charlie's Angels game, Dollar Beezy. I'm waiting for that. You know. Hey, ladies, go kill the next one. All right.
Actor.
Who is that? Is that
At least
Okay.
I'm still making
He
my
was
wife
Iron Man.
It's not
He was
Man, is it?
Iron Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah.
All
The
right.
actor who played
Robert
Iron
Downey
Man.
Jr.
Yes.
Yes, that's him.
Pretty woman.
Pretty woman actress. Oscar winner.
Oh, you know, Pretty Woman.
Julia Rogers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's close.
Close. Good. Good.
I mean,
Julia Roberts.
yeah.
That was
I
good.
told you that you're gonna get your black card, didn't I?
The Rock. Who is that? The Rock.
Wayne Johnson.
That's his name, Dwayne Wayne. I just gotta make sure you get your black
Red
card.
lipstick.
Okay, she is.
White woman.
She just said that
Kanye
she's
don't
gonna.
like her.
She's gonna.
Taylor
yeah,
Swift.
Yes.
Can you name a Taylor Swift song?
Nope.
Bad Blood.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. If you would have said "Shake It Off,"
I
I
had
said, "Well,
faith in you.
that's a good one."
Oh,
Titanic.
Yeah. Titanic.
Cold boy.
Jack.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's him. That's him. Leonardo is him.
Got smacked by Chris Rock.
He got slapped by Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he got slapped by this
Actor.
Chris Rock.
Oh, my
got
bad.
slapped by
No.
him.
Will
Slap
Smith?
Chris Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's in
Love the answer backwards.
the rematch. He's talking about the rematch.
Thor?
Nobody thought of this
Chris
one.
Hemsworth?
Oh, maybe that's the wrong person. Hold on.
Yeah.
I
But
don't think I know who that
the
is.
first name is right. Say that again.
All right.
Chris
name is
Pratt?
Okay, that's it.
Well, if he
No.
was JJ's daddy, his name would have been what?
JJ.
Oh God.
Oh, that
He's
black
not gonna
Evans?
remember.
Yeah.
Yes. Now put it
Um,
together. Put it together.
Oh, what was the first one? What was the
Everybody
first part
hates-
again?
Everybody hates.
Chris Evans.
Dang.
Yeah.
There he is.
Okay.
There he is.
Sheesh.
Who is
Sound
that,
like
by
you're-
the way?
Who is that?
It's Captain America.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Um,
My first name.
Jen. At first.
Martin's last
Yeah.
name.
Martin's last
All right.
name.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes, that's her.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Laces out. The team.
The football team down south of Florida.
Ace Ventura.
They
The
play
football
against
team
the Falcons.
in the movie.
I can't stand them.
They did play yesterday.
Party.
Yes, that's it.
Well, that's
Life
good.
is like a box of chocolates.
Forrest Gump.
Yes, you definitely know you're Forrest, and thank you
Good
so
job.
much, Island, for
Ooh.
playing along with us.
I gotta go, Island. Bye.
Thank you.
See you later. See you later.
Good night, Jim.
Thank you for the help.
Night.
Thank you so much, Island, for
Trying to
coming
get here,
out
I'm
and
trying to
hanging
get
out
out of
here
here.
at Dames Live. That
Having me.
definitely ends our show. I told you we go a quick hour, even less if we can. But I definitely appreciate your time with me. Do you have anything that you wanted to say? Anything in closing?
I would say nobody can tell you how to be your best self. Just be you, and do your best.
Thank you so much for coming by. And guess what? You guys can follow Island Ascetic on Instagram at island_ascetic, the same way it's spelled above his head. I'd like to thank you guys so much for coming out. That's all for today. Thanks again for watching Dames Live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. We'll have more incredible guests and fun surprises coming your way, so stay tuned. Until next time, keep dreaming big, and I'll be here next week. Same time, same place with me the same day. And our guest next week is somebody you guys may all know well. He's from the block, and the block will be in the building, Mr. Waterloon. Give it up for Mr. Waterloon. But we'll see you all next week. Take care, y'all.
All my life. All my life.
All right, Island, come on out this way, and we're going to go take a picture.
That's my-